What's up, guys? Welcome back to MLG Prizefights presented by BIC Flex4 Razors. I'm JP McDaniel. Wolf is joining me here, and we are going into game 2 now between Grubby and Goody. Whoever picked these maps was not kind to the casters because that's going to get... I can't believe we got through an entire game without messing those names up, Wolf. We're actually pretty good.
We're pretty good, man. We're actually on
pretty
top.
Good. Up here at the 11 o'clock position is going to be Grubby as the red Protoss. Down at the 5 across the map will be Goody as the blue Terran. Antigua Shipyard. What do you think about that map in this matchup?
It's a pretty cool map. Like, I really enjoy how the battles take place on this map. The center is... When I see this map played, even though it's been changed so many times, oftentimes from what Blizzard originally planned. I mean, the MLG version still has the gold bases there, for example, and force cross positions is something that Blizzard didn't implement originally on this map. But when I see this map play out, I'm like, I get what Blizzard wanted to accomplish with the gold base in the middle and the watchtower there. It's a really well thought out map because the middle does become the point of contention. It's always where the battles will occur. And, well, JP, we have an SCV going out. He may even go straight to the middle to do his dirty work.
Well, let's see here. Where is this? I guess he's going to put it over here in this little nook at the natural.
You can just make it inside the main base.
Yeah, you could also... Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's one thing you could do as well.
That is really weird. Like, the idea there blocks the Nexus first, but against anything else, you just lose so much from doing this.
Yeah.
His orbital is going to be so delayed now, and his barracks is delayed, as well as any pressure timings he wanted to have. But, I mean, I guess more power to him now. Grubby will still have to kill this before he gets his Nexus up, but the damage done to himself, I think, does not make this worth it.
Yeah, let's see how this works out. You know, Grubby could actually, this might seem crazy, but he could just simply 3-gate or 4-gate off of this. And with that, Goody's going to be far enough behind that it could deal a lot of damage.
Oh, and JP, look at what is going on. You can see a pylon has been placed.
Ooh. Did he see... Yeah, he actually did scout that engineering bay going down. And he's still on one. Oh, he actually pulled... Uh-oh, he's only got one probe in the assimilator. He's going to be putting on a lot of aggression here with the proxy gate.
Yep, this is what I like to call the wolf gate, man. I do this quite often because if you put this gateway down, you can rally stalkers out so quickly, and if your opponent has a later barracks for any reason, or if you get ahead, I mean, there are several different ways this can work out, especially against, for example, Command Center first. But this can be deadly if you can get away with it. See where Goody wants to put his command, so it looks like he just wants to make it at his natural. He's going to chase this probe away, but he is going to be dealing with some heavy, heavy stalker pressure from Grubby.
And this is, you know, Grubby's Warcraft 3 background. This is actually the style of play that I really expect from Grubby. Most Protoss players would not do anything like this. They would probably just drop a pylon and then rely on the warp gate, but Grubby goes the distance, man. He's played Warcraft 3 before, and where you can build kind of structures anywhere, not like Protoss. So I actually love this play from Grubby. I want to see how much damage it deals, though, with this bunker going down.
Yeah, see, the thing is, the bunker is going to be up in time, and if Goody had skipped the bunker, this could have done more. It also could have done more if he ignored the engineering bay and just sent his units across the map, but if he does that, Goody may expect something's up, make the bunker a little bit faster. So, I mean, it's hard to judge exactly what would have been better. He still can do something with this, though. He can actually just literally run past the bunker if he wants to, and that may be what he decides to do. He's going to wait for these zealots to arrive, and then we're going to see, yeah, he's even going to wait for the second stalker, it looks like. This could potentially work.
Throws down the Nexus back at home. Go ahead, Wolf.
Yeah. I was just saying he's now got the Nexus going up as well, so we'll see what he does here. Zealots leading the charge. The Stalkers, I think, will absolutely get by. If he targets this bunker down, I'm going to be a little bit surprised. He's actually going to do that. This is crazy aggression. Nice micro by Grubby, even keeping the Zealot alive here. Goody could potentially be in trouble.
Yeah, he's going... Is he going to deny this expansion? No, he's actually going to push up The depot was not raised, but it doesn't really matter too much, as the SCVs will be able to clean this up. But now with the Stalkers here, if Grubby can control properly, he's still going to be very annoying against Goody, but he is being forced out, and I think one of these SCVs is going to try to put up another bunker. Yes, indeed.
Yep, he's losing a lot though. Grubby is doing so much damage with this push. I'm not sure. Well, he's gonna actually fall back here. He's got warp gate research done. With these sentries warping in, I'm not sure if Goody will be able to actually hold this with just one bunker. The thing is, he doesn't have really the damage output to kill the Marines. If he targets down the bunker, he's gonna lose his units. He doesn't have any zealots. That's the big problem here. We'll see what he can do. He may just trap these Marines away from the bunker and kill them. Got to be careful though. There's a lot of damage output.
One minor misclick really turned into a major misclick when he moved command up a little bit too far, took way too much damage from those Marines, and that attack is now halted here. Robotic facility going down so we can't get in and scout. And although, well, no, this attack is not over. Grubby is still continuing forward. I was about to say we're just going to see this turn into a normal TVP after 8 minutes and 30 seconds of wild and crazy antics from both these players. Not antics, but plays from both these players.
Yeah, this, I mean, I'm actually I'm trying to figure out exactly how much damage has been done, because Grubby overcommitted there at the end, at the last second, but I don't blame him, because when I was looking at that, I was like, well, maybe he can actually do more here if he traps the Marines, but that's banking on a lot. And then the Marines were like, no, I'm fine, I can actually just fight you here. So we saw kind of a funky thing happen. We're going to see Goody decide to go for concussive shells before stim. He's not going to forget that this time. That did come into play quite significantly last game. Grubby is getting a robotic support bay back at home. He may just try to hit with a big push since he thinks his opponent's tech is going to be delayed. Now he verifies this with the Observer. And I like this because with this aggressive Colossus timing, he may be able to catch Goody off guard.
Observer was just sniped, but kind of the damage, so to speak, was done with the Scout. And like you said, if he can get that Colossus out, Goody's actually pushing across the map, trying to do a timing here with Combat Shield. It's now a race to get that Colossus out. He's chrono boosted it once, does have enough energy to chrono boost it again, and that singular Colossus could stop this entire attack from Goody.
Yep, I think it will. I mean, it's going to be out in time. He has a ton of force fields to delay, and what will likely happen is he will actually trap half of Goody's army and kill it and then chase him. I think that's what we're going to see here. Goody, if he commits, he's going to regret it. It's actually running up now, and here come the traps. 3 go down the Colossus here just in time. Combat Shields is done, and his Colossus taking a lot of hits here. But yeah, he holds, and he will counterattack.
Yeah, well, maybe wait for a warping or two.
He's not going to cancel those cannons either. I think he should cancel at least one. To let those finish is a little bit strange. That's a little bit too much defense to have right now. He didn't get... It's almost as if Grubby is treating this like, I'm so ahead that you have to all-in me or else you're going to lose, but Goody doesn't have to. He's actually just going to hold the center right now. His medevac tech is coming up. He's even getting a second starport now because he knows his opponent has that super fast Colossus tech, so he's like, well, if I just try to get medevacs or Vikings at normal timing, I won't be able to get medevacs, and I might not even have enough Vikings to hold off the Colossus push, so I'm going double starport here, and I really respect that.
And Grubby is going to try and secure his third, I think, as he moves in. Yeah, there comes the third Nexus. Still has the lone warp gate and pylon over at the third of Goody. And with Grubby moving in with these 2 Colossus here in the center, Goody needs to get out of town as fast as possible. Might lose a Marine or 2, but he cannot turn around and fight those Stalkers because the sentries are right behind it.
Yeah, he's going to lose a few Marines. The Stalkers doing what they do best, stalking the rest of the units at the back. That's why they're called Stalkers, man. They're fast, they catch things.
I get it.
2 Marines. Here we go. This attack is going to be pretty tough for Goody to hold. He's going to commit. He still has that forward pylon from earlier. Got to be careful of these Vikings, though. They are popping out. They are in position. This is going to all come down to micro, and well, Grubby is one of the best micro control players in the entire world. He's got a Warcraft 3 background.
And still has not moved in yet. Charge being started, +1 as well, and a Templar archives back at home. Now the Colossus, or excuse me, the Viking count is getting bigger and bigger, and Grubby is a little bit shy to attack. He does have a War Prism here. Looks like he wants to possibly load up those 4 Zealots and go for a drop into the main. I'm not so sure. I think that's what we're going to see, though.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're going to see. How effective it's going to be is yet to be seen. The Colossi do, in fact, have range, so we could start poking with them a little bit more. This is just a pressure move to keep Goody on 2 base while he gets his 3rd base up. Here come these Zealots into the main, and he's attacking at the same time, though his Colossi are a little bit overextended against the Vikings. I don't think he expected 4 Starport, or, 4 Viking production with double Starports, and Goody will actually chase this away, but a lot of units lost for both players.
Yeah. Supplies 96 to 118.
Look at the
Goody.
units lost, Tab. That is looking crazy.
Wow.
4,000 lost for Grubby. That was not the best engagement he's ever had.
That is very, very true. The War Prism barely survives as the Vikings turn around right before finding it. Now, though, for Grubby, he's going to be on 3 base, whereas his opponent still on 2, and not looking to expand. He wants to try to push this advantage that he believes he has with the huge Viking count. But Grubby's ready with the tech swap already. He has Archons coming, Psystorm about halfway complete. He will be 1-1 in this upcoming fight, and Goody's only going to be at 0-1, just now starting armor.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really tough to. Well, here we go. Let's not talk about this anymore because it's actually unfolding. The Vikings do drop, and Grubby is pushed back here. This is really tough for him to hold on to. The Archon's doing some crazy damage at the front, though. But he has 1-1 upgrades to just +1. The Vikings look like they are going to seal the deal with this group of Stalkers, and Grubby is in a ton of trouble. He's got a few photon cannons up here. He needs more units, however. He may just lose his 3rd base, and we may have a reset to 2 base versus 2 base.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what we're going to see here. Is there's really no contest against those bioforces of Goody. Grubby warping in 2 more Archons now. Those 2 cannons that we thought should have been canceled are going to come into play and might even keep Grubby in this game.
I think that unless Goody attacks up into these cannons and Archons, if he just waits for a second for reinforcements, gets ready to move out a second time and goes, I just see no way of Grubby taking this game. He's got 8 Zealots and 2 Archons right now, and that's all he has against Goody's army, which is at 80 supply. It's 80 supply to 43 in army, and Goody is not waiting. He's going now. The Charge Zealots do push him back. The cannons doing some extra damage. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. The Archons, really the damage dealers here, actually pushing through this Bioforce, and Grubby evening up the supply here. The cannons and the Archons together actually really making this a terrible engagement for Goody, but he's still pushing through. He just has so much. Look at how the supply evened up, man. Goody suicided into those cannons, basically. Should have done a drop into the main.
Yeah, we also had a drop in the main for Grubby dropping into Goody's main, and he took out a lot of SCVs there. Probe count is actually in the lead now for Grubby, so I love what he just did. He split just enough forces to be able to hold that, and once that Immortal came out, Goody was pretty much faced with no chance at all to hold that, so he had to fall back, and he actually suffered from attacking into that because Grubby made him pay for it with the drop in the main.
Yeah, this is now a funny situation because Goody finally kills that gateway that came up earlier in the pylon, and now Grubby is the one on 2 base a little bit later than his opponent is having a 3rd base. He has the better army, arguably, with these High Templar. He's got 8 High Templar, all of them able to do some serious damage, but the Ghosts are on the way for Goody. This is such an important timing for Grubby because if he doesn't do damage here, the Ghosts are always going to be out and ready. They're going to be a big factor. Grubby may drop Zealots into the 3rd base as he attacks here. The Storms are going to be the most critical part. Can Goody engage this? Some feedback's going down. A great Storm.
The feedbacks there, of course, pretty easy to hit, but the storm was right on top, and even in the retreat path somewhat of Goody. Another feedback on that ghost, but there is one more right behind it, and does not have enough for EMP as the upgrade is nowhere close to being finished. Archon
man,
left
look
behind,
at this. He's killing the
Man.
third base. He's killing the SCVs there. Grubby taking a terrible situation and turning it into potentially a win here. This is actually amazing. I really feel like Goody dropped the ball with that attack into the cannons. But
Right.
still, even so, Grubby's micro, that one key storm, changed the entire game. The Ghost Mobius reactor will finish while the Ghosts are coming out. These 3 Ghosts will come out with enough energy for EMPs. If Grubby now pulls back and doesn't overcommit to this, he'll be in an okay spot. But arguably, he may just be able to push through. There are no bunkers in play, and Grubby has some of the best micro in the world. He may just be able to force the end of the game right now. Here he goes. And there he goes away.
You want to get everything loaded up into that warp prism, of course. So awesome that you can just keep your Templar up there, put him on the high ground like this, and do some incredible storms. Good
Oh my
Lord.
god.
Grubby.
Using that warp prism like no one has used it before. Terrorizing the ramp, and now Goody forced to pull all of his SCVs, his weakened Bioforce as well, but, well, weak SCVs and weak Bio units are not good against this many Archons.
And now, Goody's actually loaded up his orbital command, dropped it over to the left, and now a drop here in the main is terrorizing units coming out of the racks, and that's actually so smart because the army was out in the middle, and this warp prism is doing so much for Grubby at this point in the game. He has probably the most useful warp prism I think I've seen in a match of StarCraft 2.
No, I think you're right, man. I don't think I've ever seen a warp prism with more utility than this one. He's actually going to use it to harass the third base. He's got that army coming across the map again. He had a lot of units back at home that he was ready to defend drops with, but now that no drops have occurred, he's actually just rallied everything forward. He is ready for the attack. He's ready to end this game. Grubby, with no third base until just now, he's actually long distance mining, so he was very low economy on this. It was a very big risk for him. But at this point, now he's got the third nexus going up, and he's got this huge army he can go and attack with. And with no third base from Grubby, you might think, well, Goody's probably going to start capitalizing on that, but he's lifted both of his orbitals. They're like flying most of the time, not even able to mine. He's mined out at his natural. So actually, arguably, he's had the worst economy during this entire mid-game, and we are going into the late game with Grubby with a big attack. With this many Archons and with Storms available, I do not think Goody will hold.
Absolutely. 141 supply to 95 supply for Goody really tells the entire story. Drop
7
once again.
Templar.
Over at the third, yeah, 7 Templar, all of them able to storm here. A lot of ghost out for Goody. Let's see if the feedbacks can occur. Grubby is moving in, Wolf.
Yeah, some good EMPs, but there are just too many units. It's going to have to GG. Storm's going down. Archon's tearing through that bio. GG. Wow. Grubby taking a very solid lead now.
And what an interesting game there. 2 games now have really unfolded where we've seen some stuff that I haven't really seen before in TVPs. I felt like Grubby was at a point in that match on literally the edge of a cliff, about to lose. And the 2 cannons that we thought he should have canceled earlier on were the things that kept him in that game. And then he just came back and miraculously won after some great harassment with that warp prism.
Yeah, you know, the funniest part about all of this to me is that I said, well, I think you should cancel one of those cannons, or maybe even both of those. I don't think he needs that. Then he got extremely behind after that attack, and it turned out the cannons saved his life and potentially won him that game. Yeah. Well, let's say this. The cannons gave him another in to the game, and then he microed his heart off and actually did crazy multitasking, and that's what really won him the game.
Absolutely. So Grubby now up 2-0 over Goody in this show match, best of 5, $500 on the line. Will Grubby close it out after this, or in our next game, or is Goody going to start fighting back? We will find out right after this break. See you then.